go ahead and call the meeting to order. I know everybody's still eating, but we'll try to get this underway. First of all, thank you all for coming. I appreciate it. As you guys know, we moved these back to quarterly meetings, and it seems to be doing pretty well. We're doing well with attendance, so I appreciate you guys coming out. I know everybody's busy. I believe Dina passed out the minutes. If you guys want to look through that, I'd take a notion or a motion to approve those.
Eric, I'll make the motion.
Betty and Brad. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, we'll introduce the guests real fast. I'd like everybody to meet April back there. She took your money when you came in. This is our new part-time employee, April McMore. She's doing fantastic, so welcome to the chamber. She's helped out. We're going into the summer music series. She was a great help with summer music series, and we'll touch on that here in a second. We finished up our freedom celebration, got all the donations that we needed. I'm always astounded at how well that goes and just the generosity of the business and the members community that we have here. So that went off really well and it was well attended. Had beautiful weather for it, so we couldn't have asked for more. And then just wrapped up our summer music series. We'll be meeting up pretty quickly with that committee, trying to get next year fired up. But it was a successful year. We had almost five sold out shows. We also abstained from one show because of the 4th of July. So it was a very successful year, and I think everybody was really happy with it. If anybody made it to those shows, has any feedback, certainly pass it on to myself or Dina or anybody that's on that committee. Like I said, we'll be moving pretty quickly on that to get that wrapped up. So. New stuff, we have our golf tournament coming up on the 22nd. It's going really well. We've started something a little different this year with like a feature presenting sponsor type thing and a drink sponsor. So we've gotten some businesses involved with that, and the teams are coming along. If any of you guys play golf or want to put a team in that, we're certainly looking for teams. Hole sponsors are doing all right, but again, if you guys hadn't put in a hole sponsor yet, we'd appreciate that. We're also planning on hosting another membership drive this year, which has been 6 years since we've done the last one. So certainly be thinking of some potential new members, and hopefully we'll get some stuff put out in the newsletter pretty quickly on trying to put teams together for that. As you guys know, Zure Fed is this weekend, the 9th and 10th. So make sure and come out, tell people you know. Try to get some foot traffic down here. It's growing. It's ever expanding. I know they're up on booths this year from where they were last year. If you want to touch on that really quickly.
Yes, so there are over 150 vendors, and some of those have multiple booths. So I'd say we probably have over 200 booths.
Very good.
That includes food vendors and so on. And there'll be live music and beer gardens, craft demonstrations, as well as demonstrations in the back of the Felix Valley House and the Bolduc House.
Very good. And I passed over the introduction of guests. Does anybody have anybody here they want to introduce? A couple people. Toby? Eric? Eric's already standing there.
This is Gary Gulico. He's American Basel Funeral Home, and this is Gary. He works with us at the funeral home. He does a lot of our pre-need. So, hello, everybody.
Hi.
Toby Garrett at St. John Herald. We have our new sports editor with us today, Jason Giannis.
Jason?
I have a Corinne Bass, and she works with the Talent Force now.
Okay.
So you get one,
Thanks for coming. Anybody else? All right. We have a great program for you today. We have Scott Mercer with the St. Genevieve High School. Is going to be talking about the A+ program and some other things. We also have Nate Samarino with SEMO. He's the athletic director down there. Just kind of giving everybody a little heads up on the athletic program there. So I'll go ahead and turn it over to Scott.
Okay.
And thank you guys again for coming.
And thank you for having me also, and especially thank you for the lunch. I got to say that was much better than the 2-day-old cheese pizza that's waiting for me in the fridge at school. So thank you for that. I know a lot of faces, and that makes me feel more comfortable. Thank you for being here. In case you don't know me, my name is Scott Mercer. I'm the assistant principal at the high school, and I'm starting my 6th year there. In addition to being the assistant principal, I'm also the A+ coordinator. And just in case you're not familiar, the A+ program is a state been in place now for about 15 years or so. And it's designed to help students go to college, students that might not be able to afford it in any other way. It helps them go to college by asking them to do a few certain things. Most of those are things that we would already want from our students anyway. For example, they have to have a good attendance average, they have to have a good GPA, they need to be good school citizens, and then the extra thing that we ask them for is that they complete 50 hours of unpaid tutoring or mentoring for students who are younger than them. And that takes shape in all different forms. Sometimes we have them tutoring throughout the day, sometimes before school, after school. Summer, they can help with some of the supplemental programs, things like the Bloomsdale Family Carnival, kindergarten screaming, or as my wife, the kindergarten teacher, calls it kindergarten screaming. So there are lots of different opportunities and ways that students can earn their hours. Once they have those things in place, and this is a process that takes all 4 years. Once they have all of those things in place, then the state of Missouri helps pay for them to attend a 2-year college, community college, junior college, some technical and trade schools, and just gives them a head start towards earning their complete degree. It's a great program. We've had tons of students go through it over the years. In fact, some of you in here may have a child that was an A+ student. And I thank you for that, and I salute you for that. It's a big commitment, and a big commitment with a big payoff. I'll say that. Usually when I talk about A+, that's the end of the conversation. We talk about college readiness. One thing that a lot of people don't realize, though, is that A+ is actually a 2-pronged program. We look at college readiness, but we also look at career readiness. And one of the things that we do to help promote that is offer internships to local businesses. I can tell you, they haven't been very common in St. Genevieve. I'm starting my 6th year. I've only placed 2 students. Over those 6 years, I've only placed 2 students. I have 2 more coming up this year. So in my 6-year span, I will have placed 4 students. I would like to see that increase. Now, realistically speaking, let me just go ahead and tell you up front that it's probably not likely that we'll be placing more students in the 2014-2015 school year. So my purpose here today is to tell you a little bit about how that internship program works and how we might be able to get a head start so that maybe we can place more students in the coming years. That make sense to everybody? That's pretty easy, right? I do have some notes and contact information that I'll leave up at the head table. Feel free to grab one on your way out. But I think you'll find this very easy to follow. At the high school, there are 3 main internship opportunities. One of them is called Supervised Business Experience, or SBE, we call it by its initials. And that is headed up by Mrs. Denise Bader, who teaches business for us. And I've got all this in the notes for you. And those are things like, well, we might place students at a real estate office, or an insurance office, or a bank, places where they can learn basic clerical skills, some light office management, things like that, business-related type placements. SBE, Supervised Business Experience, Mrs. Denise Bader. It's all in the notes. The second kind that we have is a Supervised Ag Experience. And that is supervised by Mrs. Anna Fricci-Dunzy, our ag teacher. She's been in place with us for, I think, 4 years now, and has done an excellent job of bringing that ag program up to where it should be. Let's face it, we're in an agricultural community. And those are things that we need to take seriously and we need to invest in, and we need to get our kids ready for that in the future. That too includes all different kinds of things. It could be farming, it could be livestock management, it could be plant and soil science, animal science, equipment. It could be some of those specialized shop trades, like carpentry, like welding, all different kinds of things. Those that are directly related to agriculture. And that's SAE, Supervised Ag Experience, Mrs. Hannah Fricci-Dunzy, it's all in the notes. The third one, and this is me, is the A+ internship. And basically, I place students in areas that do not apply to either of the first two, business or ag. So I'm looking at things like health occupations, or areas that just, the easiest way to say it, areas that don't apply to either of the first two. The kinds of students that we place are typically seniors, typically hard workers, students with good attendance, students that already have in mind what they're going to do for college or career. These are dedicated students that want to get a sample of what their chosen career path is really like. Now, because of that, if we should place one with you, we want you to be very realistic with them about what the career path is like. It's so easy to give these students grunt work, and you should. It's realistic. It's part of the job. We all have grunt work. But also let them experience what the career is really like, beyond those menial tasks that we all have to do from time to time. Let them see what the career is really like. And this goes back to that two-pronged approach of A+, college readiness and career readiness. We want them to have a sneak preview. We want to make sure that they have chosen the right path and that they have an opportunity to determine, before they get too deep, into choosing their majors when they get to college, into signing contracts with companies, into being placed here or there, that they truly know what they're getting into. Okay? Here's how it works. A+ internships, or any of the other ones for that matter, really need to start cooking. They need to start simmering in spring, like March, April. That way we have plenty of time to A, check the students' graduation requirements and make sure they can afford to be off campus for an hour or two, usually 2. We need to make sure that we have the right placement for them. We need to make sure it's going to fit in the right time of day. We need to make sure that they have a good supervisor and a good placement. A lot of complicated ingredients have to come together. It's got to be the right kid in the right place and the right hours of the day. And that's generally not something that we can put together in a snap. It takes a lot more review time. It takes a lot more consultation and communication, particularly with the business that we choose to place them with. So that's why I told you earlier, probably not very likely that we're going to place any more this year. But let's get a head start on next year. And I'll give you one more tip that will really help you with it. If you can work specifically with a student or with a sponsor, you're more likely to find that right kid and have time to get things cooking than you are if you just call the school and say, hey, I think I'd like an intern. Because what happens when we get that is we're happy to help you if we can, but when we put out that general, open sort of cattle call, students don't typically respond. They don't typically respond. If instead you've already started the ball rolling, or at least planted the seed with a student or with one of the sponsors, then it becomes a lot more personalized. You think, oh yeah, I could do this. Gives some time for some communication that's more one-on-one. Talk about expectations. We have time to review their schedules, graduation requirements. So it's a lot easier if you pinpoint a specific kid or a specific sponsor, so it's a lot more personalized in that way. That's a very quick overview. I'm happy to take questions. I'll stick around for after the meeting as well if there are certain things you want to talk about. And as I said earlier, I do have notes, including contact information for myself, for Mrs. Bader, for Mrs. Fritchie Dunsey, in case any of you would like to at least start having those conversations. Anything I can do for you right now? Thank you.
It's a really, really good program, and like you said, hopefully they can get the ball rolling with that and get some interest generated for that. We'll turn it over to Nate with SEMO and let him inform.
Hey, thank you. Hello, St. Genevieve. I'm really excited to be here today. Thankful to Dean to extend the opportunity. My name is Nate Savarino, and I'm our Assistant Athletic Director down at Southeast for External Affairs. I am a Southeast graduate 2 times over, undergrad and graduate school, so Southeast is close to my heart. I'm excited to be talking about what we have going on in our athletic department just down the road coming up this year. Before I begin, I've just got a short series of just a few really brief videos that I want to share with you, including a message from St. Genevieve's own Steve Beezer, who wanted to be here today, but he has a recruit on campus. They are hard at work in the middle of recruiting season, so he could not make it up today because the recruit picked today to go down to Cape. So just a few quick videos as we begin here.
The community is so tight, and whenever you go somewhere wearing the Southeast jacket or wearing the Southeast, they know who you are. It's cool having a really
just a lot of support.
Well, hopefully.
And I know I'm not alone. I know a lot of people believe in me. So that's been my best experience just playing the game and school-wise. We got a lot of help. Teachers, everybody to make sure you know I can do anything to end your career. So you have to have something to fall back on, which is your education and your mission degree, and it can take you far in life, way more than sports. And Southeast is nothing but love. Like, I'm glad I came here. I couldn't ask for anything better because I love it here, period.
Hey, St. Genevieve, sorry I couldn't make it up today to visit with everybody. Look forward to seeing you guys as the year progresses, but really want to thank you for all the support that you gave the baseball team last year at Capitol Hall Field. We had an exciting season, and really know that several of you had an opportunity to make it up to see the Red Hawks play as well as our local guys, but you know, even more important than that, hope to see you guys get to Cape Girardeau. You get an opportunity to see all the fall sports, the football program. There's a lot of exciting things happening in our football program, and as well as all the fall sports. So. Just really excited for this upcoming school year, and hope everybody gets a chance to come out and see us.
So like Coach Beezer mentioned, he mentioned that we had a really good baseball season. We had a really great 2013-2014 year. I'm going to get a little audience participation because I know sometimes after lunch, it's easy to, kind of get that go into that food coma. It was a delicious lunch today, by the way. But I want everybody just to put their hand in the air, 5 fingers, just everybody put 5 fingers up in the air. Now, does anybody know the significance of why I asked you to hold up the number 5? Southeast, this past year, won 5 conference championships. We have 15 teams. 1/3 of our team's seasons won a conference championship this past year. At Southeast, we talk a lot about 3 areas of student-athlete success. We talk a lot about academic excellence, we talk about social development, and we talk about competitive success. And the fact that we were able to win 5 championships last year is a tremendous, tremendous accomplishment in that competitive success. The last time that we had won 5 conference championships in one season, one school year, you'd have to go all the way back to 1997. In addition to that, from a competitive success standpoint, not only are we winning championships, but one of the things that we do to kind of judge how we're doing from a competitive standpoint is we compete in the Ohio Valley Conference, and there is a OVC Commissioner's Cup. And it's an all-sports standings trophy, and you earn points for your finish in each sport. So you earn the maximum number of points if you win the championship. If you finish in second place, you earn 1 less point, so on and so forth. Well, last year we finished 3rd overall out of 12 institutions in the OVC, and that's the 2nd year in a row that we finished 3rd overall. So not only are we competing very well in the OVC, we're winning championships, but we're actually getting better, because even though we finished 3rd again for the 2nd consecutive year, we finished 3rd but with more points. It's just that the number 1 and 2 teams this year scored more points than the 1 and 2 teams the year before. So we're making progress and we're winning championships. And we're winning championships with student athletes from Southeast Missouri. We're winning championships with student athletes from the region. We're winning championships with student athletes from St. Genevieve, which we're really excited about. And that's part of the reason that I'm so excited to be here. Last year we won 5 championships. 2 of them came from the men's track and field team. We won the indoor track and field championship and we won the outdoor track and field championship, thanks to a lot of help from St. Genevieve native Jacob Kent. He's a high jumper on our team. We won the baseball championship last year, the regular season championship, first time since 2002. Of course, with Steve Beezer, head coach, his son Cole Beezer, Jason Bloom on that team. So we're having success with local student athletes, with student athletes from right here in St. Genevieve, from Cape Girardeau, from Jackson, from Sykeston, down even further in the Boot Heel. And we're really excited about that. But probably what's even more impressive about our student athletes and about the types of things that we're doing down in Cape Girardeau, it's not just the 5 championships in the 3rd place finish in the OVC Commissioners Cup standing. And that's great, and we want to win, and we want to win championships. But like Paul McRoberts said in that second video, Paul is a tremendous student athlete. He plays football. When we are on the football field, when our offense is on the football field, he is the best player on the field between either teams. It doesn't matter if we're playing KU this year or if we're playing Austin P, who traditionally has finished at the bottom of our conference. He is the most talented player on the football field. This past year, he also played men's basketball. In the first game of basketball, competitive basketball that he played since he was in high school, which was 3 years ago, he made what was the game-winning three-point shot, which is you kind of saw in that highlight. He's a tremendous athlete. But he talked in his video about the importance of getting a degree and getting an education, and that's what our student athletes are at Southeast to do. So we're winning championships, but this past year we're really focused on academic excellence. We have 320 student athletes. 70% of our student athletes maintained a cumulative 3.0 GPA or higher. 70%. This, just a week ago, there were some academic recognitions, honors handed out by the Ohio Valley Conference. The baseball team won the OVC Team Academic Achievement Award for having the most number of baseball student athletes with a 3.25 GPA or higher compared to the rest of the OVC schools. So they won conference championship, they won the academic achievement recognition. Our student athletes are really well-rounded, and the fact that we have so many student athletes achieving such success both competitively and academically is really a nod to their hard work and to the effort that they put in. Because in addition to all that, they're putting in all that time in practice, they're traveling to competition, whether it's to Alabama and as far as Louisiana and Kentucky and Tennessee and Illinois. They're actually competing in those games, and then they're putting the time in study hall, they're putting in the time at weights. Well, then in addition to the great grades and the great success that we're having on the field or on the court, our student athletes are committed to social development. One of the things that we use to kind of benchmark how we're doing from a social development standpoint is community service. The opportunity for our student athletes to give back to the communities that support them by coming out to Alex Stadium or the Show Me Center or Howe Fieldhouse or Capitol Field. Last year, our student athletes as a whole completed over 3,000 hours of community service. We actually presented them with a goal of 5 hours per student athlete, and our student athletes led by our Student Athlete Advisory Council, which is kind of a leadership council with representatives from each team, said 5, why don't we do 10? And so we logged over 3,000 hours of community service in addition to the hours in the weight room and the hours in the classroom and the hours on the field and the hours in study hall. So I think they should really be committed for their hard work. And we're doing that to represent Southeast Missouri, not just Cape Girardeau. We're not Cape Girardeau State University, and we don't want to be Cape Girardeau State University. We're Southeast Missouri State University. We want to make the entire region of Southeast Missouri proud of what we're doing in Cape Girardeau, what our Red Hawks athletics program is accomplishing. One of the things that we do every spring, and we're really glad to come up this year, we started this 2 years ago, our Red Hawks road trip. And what we do is we go on the road to visit with our fans and visit with our supporters. Each spring we've gone to about 10 or 11 communities, all the way up to St. Louis, all the way down to Memphis, and communities in between. And this year we came up to St. Genevieve. Now I got to get my scheduling down better, because we came to St. Genevieve. There were 2 district baseball games that day. I believe it was the first night of men's league over at the country club, and there was some other thing going on. So, but we still had a really good turnout, and we were down at the Oris, and it was a great venue. We had a nice little turnout, especially I believe one of the baseball games was Mercy Rule or something, so I think some people were able to get over a little early. But we had a great turnout, and it was that day I had a chance to talk to Dina, and she invited me to come up here, and I really appreciate that, Dina, for the opportunity to come up and speak with everybody. And really just to share with you what we're doing down at Southeast Missouri State. And like Steve mentioned, I really hope that everybody here and that the community in St. Gen has an opportunity to drive down to Cape Girardeau, take the 45-minute drive, and come down and check us out and support our student athletes that are representing our university and our region so honorably on the field and off the field. There's lots of opportunities, whether it's the baseball program or the football program. And football right now, all of our fall sports are in the middle of their fall camp. They just started. They're getting after it. We have a brand new head football coach. Lots of excitement. He talks about building the program brick by brick. And I'm sure if he were here today, he would tell you all that you're very important pieces in that process of building that football program into something that everybody can be proud of and something that wins championships. We've got 6 home games this year. Being an hour away, I wouldn't expect everyone to buy season tickets. It's an hour, you've got 6 games. Everybody has things that they have to do, busy schedules, and it's a commitment of time. But try and make it down to one. We've got Tyler Fallard on the roster this year. I couldn't tell you if he'll play every down or if he'll redshirt. I don't know. But I know that our coaching staff is really excited to have him as part of the program. Come down to Cape Girardeau, check us out, and support our student athletes. There's a few items on the table that I just want to point out to you. Feel free to take a pen, please do. But then there's also a flyer of information for business owners or groups. This is a new opportunity this year. I don't know if anybody is familiar with Dino's Pizza in Cape, or what was Dino's Pizza in Cape. There was a fire probably, gosh, it's been 2 years ago. And then that property was purchased by the university after the building was condemned, and has since been knocked down and turned into some green space. So what we're able to offer this year are some tailgate packages, and we want to offer those tailgate packages for businesses or special groups. They could be employee recognition, it could be civic organizations, it could be used to thank your clients. Think about how you could use that area, and what we'll do is we will work with a local company. We'll get the tents all set up for you. We'll get the tables set up so that all you have to do is bring your people, bring your food, and have a good time before the game, and then we'll even provide the tickets to you at a discount as well. So that's one opportunity that I just wanted to point out to everybody, that maybe it's a great way to treat your staff, or to thank your clients, or maybe to solicit some new business, or get a team or a school group together. And if you have any questions about that, feel free to ask. And then the I'm a Red Hawk booklet just has some information about kind of what I talked about today, all the outstanding things that our student athletes have done. You know, in addition to the team achievements, you'll find in here that our student athletes won 55 conference honors. So every weekly conference honors. So every week in the OVC, of course, there's a player of the week or a freshman of the week. One of our student athletes won one of these honors 55 times. There's probably about 36 or 40 weeks in our competition season from the end of August through the middle of May. So we're winning almost 1 to 2 of these awards a week, our student athletes are, compared to the athletes that are also competing in the OVC. So there's some good information in here about that, as well as about our Red Ox Club, or about season tickets. And of course, our Red Ox Club is formerly our booster club, but what that does is helps us provide scholarship funding for our student athletes so that we can help them go to school. So I really hope that everybody here in the St. John community talk about what the Red Ox are doing. Keep an eye on the news, keep an eye on our website, and check out what we're doing and what our student athletes are doing, and talk about it. And hopefully, you know, before too long, we'll have a caravan of vehicles coming down to Cape Girardeau for game days, whether it's for football or whether it's for basketball or baseball or gymnastics or maybe even track and field games. So again, I thank you all for your time, and thanks to Dina and to the Chamber for allowing us to come up and speak and visit with you all. So does anybody have any questions about what we've got?
What were the 5 sports in which you won championship?
Thank you. The 5 sports were gymnastics won the Midwest Independent Conference Championship. They don't compete in the OVC, but the Midwest Independent Conference Championship. The men's track and field team won both the indoor and the outdoor championships. The women's track and field team also won the outdoor track and field championship. So that was up at Edwardsville, Illinois, both at the same time. They do that meet at the same time, and both of our teams swept. And then the baseball team won the championship. So actually, we won those 5 championships in a span of basically from mid-February to mid-May, because that indoor championship falls in February. So it was a really, really good spring for us. Any other questions about any of our programs or anything? Well, I appreciate it. Thank you for your time. If you need anything, of course, I'll be around after, so feel free to visit with me and ask me any question. I hope to have the opportunity to meet all of you individually. So thank you very much.
All right, thanks, Nate. We have other business. I believe Tom Grimminger was wanting to address.
Yeah, just a reminder to all the business places in St. Genevieve County that we have the Work Ready Community meeting for employers here in this room on the 19th, a couple weeks from now, 7:30 in the morning. With coffee and rolls in the morning, and we've got people from the State Department come in to explain the Work Ready Community program that we're trying to get going here in St. Genevieve. So, the 19th.
Very good. Anybody have anything else? Sean?
The Furnace Foundation is gearing up for their 2nd annual Black Tie event. It is going to be November 1st. It's a Saturday evening. It's going to be a really great time. Initially, we got Al Lavoski is going to be speaking. And we're also going to have a black tie or a silent auction, and Gene Oakley will be playing music throughout the evening. Right now, we're kind of in the process of getting everything together, so if anybody has anything for a silent auction or would like to donate something to the silent auction, right now we're kind of in the midst of looking for experiences instead of tangible items. We're trying to shy away from hitting up every business, because I know we all get hit up throughout the year from different organizations. So we're more leaning towards like an experience type thing. So if you have any, like a golf club membership or like a round of golf somewhere, or you know somebody who works for like the Cardinals or the Blues or some sort of inn that we could maybe use to get something for the silent auction, we'd appreciate it. Feel free to give me a call at the foundation office in the hospital, or you can just hit me up here after the meeting.
Sean? Anybody have anything else? All right, thank you guys very much for coming. I'd entertain a motion to adjourn. Brad? What's that? See you in November, yeah. And a second? Second. Lonnie? All right, all in favor? Opposed? Thank you guys for coming. Have a good week.
Channel 7 and 98 TV and web broadcasting are made possible through contributions and donations from viewers like you. Thank you for your support.